Well, hey there. Marla Esther Close, Green Home Coach here today, back for another Facebook Live. I hope you had a chance last week to join in on one of our behind the scenes Facebook Lives for the Green Gab podcast. Sorry, I have to get all that out in one fell swoop. But we had a ton of fun recording some really great guests last week, and we just love sharing behind the scenes when we're in studio, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope you got to tune in. If not, please check back on the Facebook live feeds on Green Home Coach and check it out, or on the Green Gab Facebook page, either way. Speaking of podcasting, if you are in St. Louis, next week, March 9th through 12th, Tony and I will be podcasting live from the show floor at the St. Louis Home and Garden Show. And this is going to be so fun. Our podcasting producer and helps us with distribution, Mike Wilkerson of Two Guys Talking Podcast Network, has a podcast bug. And I'm so excited to see this. It is a 1978 green VW Beetle. And then in the front trunk, he has put a mobile podcasting studio. So all the equipment that we need to podcast. So we're going to drive it into the showroom floor next week, set it up in booth 1039. That's in the Green Pavilion area at the St. Louis Home and Garden Show. And we're going to be doing podcasts right there, recording podcasts on the showroom floor. So we are just super excited about this. Really appreciate the Home Builders Association in St. Louis working with us to help this be a reality. So come visit us, come say hi, and you can check out what podcasting is all about and how fun it is. So at any rate, but on to bigger topics. I really wanted to talk a little bit today. We've kind of been on this theme with sustainability in your home and how it makes a difference. And so last week in our blog, and we really talked about how this is really affecting us and the common good and our bigger world. This whole climate change, things changing, when we're not all paying attention to the bigger picture, what can happen. And in particular, I was talking about the glaciers last week because I had found this just amazing video of a glacier calving a piece of ice the size of Lower Manhattan. And that floored me. If you get a chance, go back and read the blog on Green Home Coach, and you can click there to link to the video. But my kids and I went to Alaska a few years back in 2014, and we just made it up the Inside Passage, but we did get to see a number of glaciers, and I really wanted to see the glaciers. And I thought, every year I wait, they're getting smaller because they're retreating, and there is no more telling impact. Well, maybe the crazy weather we experience, but when you start seeing the results on all of us in our cities and the people we care about that are resulting from this change in the weather, and what can you do about it? So you can do something, and I'm gonna suggest that we maybe think about things in a different way. So green and sustainability has been talked about kind of from the environmental standpoint. Some people say tree hugger standpoint. We've talked about it from having a healthier, safer, more comfortable home aspect. But here's the deal, guys and gals. What we do in our homes matters. Every little bit matters, because homes are a major contributor to energy and to pollution and carbon in the air and in our world. And if each of us takes some actions in our homes, we can affect the greater good, the common good. And I don't know about you guys, but my kids are going to have to live with this a lot longer than I am. At least I hope so. Anyway. But they are going to have to clean a lot of this up. And I can't imagine what that's going to look like in 50 years. And I want it to be a wonderful thing for them to deal with, not a horrible thing. But I want to have, that wonderful stuff right now too, not even just in the future. And it's hard for us to think in the future because we just, as human beings, we think here and now. But think how much this can empower us. We've got so much empowering action happening right now all around us. And while I try to stay away from politics, the beautiful thing that I see that's happening from this shift in our politics and our leadership and how things are being talked about is that people have gotten involved. I have seen and talked with so many women that have, often for the first time in their life, gotten active, are calling congressmen and senior and senators, and are going to learn more, me included. And I just feel this huge sense of empowerment that we need to be involved. Well, I think that needs to extend to what's going on in our homes and in our communities and our bigger world. And sustainability is part of that. Sustainable means to keep going forward, to have available in the future. So something is sustainable if it is doable on into the future. So sustainability doesn't just mean green. It's, I know I even dressed the part today. It's really all about keeping it going for future generations, for our future welfare. And if you think about it, if we've got a longer end game in mind, then everything becomes about sustainability. So if we take our minds off of just the here and now and we think about what we want for the future, our dreams, our hopes, our plans, then sustainability is part of that. So our little piece for that common good could be as simple as what we do in our homes. And what we do in our homes can be as simple as making choices when we repair, replace, remodel, build, that take advantage of materials, practices, and items that we bring in that are going to be better for us as time goes by, getting the best available option that we can right now. Or maybe it's not getting something at all. Maybe that's one way. Maybe we just don't need as much. But being very mindful about it, and each of us doing the very best that we can, is very empowering for us as individuals, but it also contributes to the common good. And that common good, Suzanne Shelton actually talks about this in one of her blogs. We had the chance to bring her on the podcast last week and record a podcast with her, and just loved it. Thank you, Suzanne. But you know, she's really started talking about, is it time to play the climate change card, the planet card? Are we ready now to understand our relationship with this bigger world that we live in? And she really, and her group, really believe we are. And I agree with that. I think that we are all starting to really appreciate the connections and how much what we do as individuals ties into the community and the greater good and the world at large. And as we've become truly a global citizen, all of that makes a difference. So take the time to find out a little bit more. Just like we're finding out more about what's happening in our government, we can also take a little bit more time to find out what's happening with the products, the goods, the materials that we bring into our home. We can help you with that. There's a ton of research out there on the internet. There's all kinds of great resources. We aim to bring you as many as we can through Green Home Coach. But ask the questions, because a little bit of time up front to ask those questions and a little bit of planning up front can bring big results as we go down into our futures and we build a place that continues to get better and better. But remember, every drop of water in that bucket adds up. So you can make a difference, and I look forward to hearing what you are doing to empower yourself in your home and your community. Have a wonderful day. Hope to see you in St. Louis next week if you're there. And we, as always, welcome your comments here on our Facebook page for Green Home Coach or the Green Home Coach website. Have a wonderful day.